Hey, world history people. We'll get back online from after doing a little scavenger hunt here. Uh, we're kind of into the Roman Empire, and before this, we've discussed other religions from other places that we've been moving through. We've discussed Buddhism, we've discussed a little bit about Confucianism, we've discussed Hinduism. We've discussed a little bit about Islam. We've discussed a little about Judaism, which is basically kind of where an early form of Christianity, Judeo-Christian. You hear that. So, but we're going to talk a little bit about Christianity today and how it related to Rome. And there's actually a video that I found on YouTube that was really good and brought to me something that I had never thought of before. I'm going to kind of explain a little bit of that to you today, okay? So, we know that, Christianity, you have Jesus Christ that was born of Virgin Mary, and that he came to earth as the Son of God to die for everyone's sins so that people may be saved and go to heaven. Okay, he would have had a mass following. He would have basically been a rock star during his time. Okay, and he was Jewish, King of the Jews, as the Romans would call him. And even as they were, going over to Christianity, they were still keeping parts of the Jewish tradition along with it, okay? And we know that from the Bible and from history books that Simon Peter, he was a Jewish fisherman, and kind of says that, he was basically, he was a father of Jesus, and sorry about that. And he was kind of the leader of the apostles. But there's another major player that emerges, and historically we have to take this into account. And this major apostle is Paul. Now, guess what? Paul is a highly educated Jewish Roman citizen. Okay, he's a highly educated Jewish Roman system. Now, he joins the Christianity movement, a little bit later than the others. And he takes the message of Christianity of Jesus to the Gentiles, which are people that are not Jews. It would be like us. We would be Gentiles, unless you happen to be Jewish. And he also talked to Jews. And there were a whole lot of issues there because he was, they were still using Jewish beliefs and, kind of mixing them with this new Christianity. But Paul, being a Roman citizen, basically gets to, take a bigger lead. Okay, and who's he taking a bigger lead over? Well, there's James that, people think that is Jesus' brother probably. I think maybe his oldest brother who would have known him. And there's not much written, that James got to write in there, in the Bible. But they would have known him better, okay? But with Paul being a Roman citizen, he would have had an advantage there of, when putting a Bible together, a book to, advise, he would have the upper hand. Because probably Jesus' family were illiterate. They were probably poor. We know Jesus was a carpenter. So we have to take that into account as historians. But nevertheless, if you're a Christian, that, probably doesn't change anything about your belief in Jesus being your Savior and dying for you on the cross. But this is all, like I say, going on in the Roman Empire. And that was actually kind of the first split, because it was over, using, certain Jewish traditions with the Gentiles. The Gentiles being brought in was a issue with some of the other Jewish, and that was the first actual split. Now later on, there's a bigger split called the Great Schism, which we'll get into that later. And then there's, of course, Martin Luther, who causes a split. And from there on, we can kindly, when we get there, and hopefully in class, we can draw it up, kind of like almost like a family tree of how, the Judeo-Christian faith, kind of splits off over time into different areas. And it may just be literally over one word in translation. So, that being said, remember, here we are with me basically just kind of explaining a little bit about Christianity to get us caught up to where we need to be, because that is a part of, ends up being a part of Roman culture because it emerges during the Roman Empire and it spreads. Okay? Now, those writings that we're talking about, that's the New Testament, okay? And that's really the second part of the Christian Bible. First part being Old Testament, New Testament. And you got to realize you got people that are speaking different languages, and that's a problem to where people get in trouble and they say, well, that people's committed acts of treason because the misunderstanding of a word or translation of a word. But Christians end up getting persecuted because you're spreading this word. People just they wanted to persecute, and they did. And really the Christian faith, if you go through, much of it is about persecution, and even all the way back to the Jewish,
Angie Dodson, your lady in the front office, you have a phone
you know,
call, Angie Dodson.
they were slaves, and for many years they were literally people without a homeland, searching for the promised land. And then, even later on, as we'll get to, the state of Israel's made to give them a homeland after, Hitler's final solution, just horrible. They're killing the Jews during World War II, and a little bit before that. But anyways, we talked a little bit about Christianity. We have an assignment up on not Infinite Campus, but Canvas, and hopefully you learned a little bit of something today, and it might make you want to search out a little bit more about what I was talking about, Paul, and that little split that happened there. James being his brother, and we really don't hear much from Jesus' family in the Bible, who would have known him best. In that video that I watched, the claim was that Paul would have, kind of made things spiced up, because the Savior was going to be born of a virgin, and this was this prophecy to be fulfilled, and he would want to have made sure that everything came out perfect to make it look exactly right. That's these people's argument. I don't believe that. I believe things happened the way they did. This is my personal beliefs. But as a historian, when somebody throws, hey, why aren't we hearing from the people who really knew him? You have to think about it anyways. But I'm not here to try to change anybody's faith or anything like that. I'm just here to give you some information. You'll have a couple questions, like I said. So have a good day. COVID is real. My mom and dad have it. Stay your social distance. Keep your face mask on. Keep your hands clean, guys. I hate to see anybody get it. I will talk to you later. Have a great day.